Do you want to know what the perfect decision is? Do you want to always know what the right answer to every single possible variable in life is? That's what I'm going to tell you in this video. So, if you don't know who I am, I'm Chief Neef. I've been one of the apprentices in Hustlers University. Been in there for 6 months. Went from 0 to 6 figures a year in just a matter of 6 months. Cool. So, what I learned is that a lot of people come to me and ask me like, hey, what should I do in this situation? What's the right answer? How can I make sure that I ensure my success? And it comes from a lot of younger people who haven't really had a lot of experience in life. I'm 27, so I'm still a young guy, but I've had more experiences and been through a lot more things than maybe like a 19-year-old. And so like, what I tell them all the time is that there's never going to be a right decision. Sometimes it's just taking action because there's multiple variables and multiple answers to a problem. And so like, it's just being able to accept the fact that, look, it's better to execute with speed. If you can execute really fast, even if you make the wrong direction, 3 months later you can make a pivot and go the other direction, right? A lot of life is just learning a certain thing or going a certain direction and then realizing you don't want to do that direction anymore. That's totally fine. Like I've had things in my life where I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that anymore, whatever, next direction. You have to stop viewing life as this like track where you go down one track. You have to view it as like an onion, and there's multiple layers to an onion. When you get to the onion, right, and you start the thing and you peel the first layer, you're like, oh shit, I'm at the core. Like I'm here. I figured out what I want to do. And then you realize, oh, actually, I'm not. I'm on the outer layer. And you're like, fuck, okay, now I want to go this direction. So maybe that means you start in like, maybe you start working in sales or whatever, and you start sales. And then at first, for the first year, you're like super into it. And then you peel back the onion, right? You peel back the core of who you are. The more you start to peel back who you are as a person and what you truly want in life, you don't know until you have experience. So once you peel back that next layer, you're like, oh shit, actually, I don't want to do sales, but I do like talking to people. So maybe that means you transition into maybe starting a course, or maybe you start coaching, or maybe you start doing public speaking or mentorship, or you start YouTube videos, or whatever it is. Then you peel the layer back and you do that for 6 months and you're like super hype. You think this is like what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like I'm going to do this forever. And then next thing you know, you're ready to transition again. And a lot of people get stuck on that. They don't like the transition periods. They're so slow to transition because they're clung on to like, well, I said I was going to do this thing forever and I feel like I have to hold on to it. Whereas like one thing that I did in my life that was really good is like when I felt that it was like the moment to drop something, I was done. Whether that was a girl, right? If I knew a relationship needed to be ended, I would done, like out, not even worried about it anymore. It doesn't even faze me. I'm just boom, pivot, next thing. Same thing with like work or like any job I was in or like anything. As soon as I knew that deep down in my gut, I peeled the layer back and realized it wasn't for me and I got closer to the core of what I really wanted in life, I was like, cool, pivot, right? And so now I'm in Hustlers University, right? It helped me to escape the matrix, but I'm now starting to realize that's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I don't want to copyright forever. I want to eventually make my own offer, help coach people and whatever. And I might do that for a year and then pivot and realize I want to do something else. That's totally fine. So the second that I knew I wanted to do that, I pivoted really fucking fast. Like I'm working on something to do mentorship, whatever. And so you have to be able to transition really quick, and you have to not get caught up in feeling like you have to stay on that thing. Be okay with transitioning and just own it. Own the fact that you're going to transition and do it fast. So like, this kind of goes back full circle to what I was saying in the beginning. Like, don't be afraid to just take a direction, but you need to make a direction. You can't just sit in inaction. A lot of people sit within inaction and don't do anything because they're worried about making the right decision. Just take action. I promise you, you might join Hustlers University, or you might talk to some person or join some program, and you might be in there for a month. And then that decision leads you to another thought pattern, and that thought pattern leads you down another path. That's totally fine. You have to be able to decipher, though, whether that is you chasing shiny object syndrome because, like, you start doing something and a month later, you're like, oh, I want to go do this thing now. That's different. Don't transition like that. You have to be able to decipher, am I doing this because I'm fucking lazy and I want to just, like, go do the next thing? Or am I really trying to transition because this isn't who I am as a core? It's totally fine, right? Be able to transition, be able to move, and that's going to be able to help you weave through life a lot quicker and allow you to make decisions, right? Just move with speed. I promise if you just move with speed and you have consistency and patience in life, I promise you will surpass most people. Most people are addicted to TikTok and social media and all these other platforms. They don't have these skills. If you can just have these base level skills, like just basic skills, I promise you will do really well in life. So yeah, if you do want to potentially make a direction, make a pivot in your life, consider joining Hustlers University. I'm one of the apprentices in there. I really love it. I learned how to go from 0 to 6 figures a year with copywriting. And I think it's a really great program. I think you can learn from multiple different professors. There's 18 different wealth creation methods in there that you learn from millionaires. So if you click the link in the description, it will share my story with you of how I went from where I was now to where I am, or sorry, where I was to where I am now. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in there.
If you want to learn piano, you find someone who can learn piano, you learn from them, and you start training to be able to play piano. If you want to get rich, find somebody who's rich and start training to get rich right here, right now. This is a brand new way anybody can make money, even if you only have 50 bucks. I guarantee you will make money with this system. Hold on tight. We're about to get rich right here, Hustlers University.